Good morning, everybody. Jack Leeson with StartupTrading.com. It is 9:12 in the morning here on the 16th of January. OpX. I'm long copper and gold. For those of you guys in the Discord that were in the Zoom this morning, able to see that. And I'm going to talk about those trades. So it's OpX. I don't really see a whole lot going on over the indexes, but I will go over them. But I continue to press, and I'll be on the same thing probably all year. Is just trading markets. Like, I normally never trade copper, and I've always traded gold, but just trading the markets that are moving. Gold is inside of and continues all week long, giving these fruitful entries at the bottom of this very technical range to the strategies that I teach. We had this extension on Sunday night, completing on Monday, and then that same anchor new high has just been support every single time we traded it. We had the 38s overnight on Tuesday. We made a new high on Wednesday. That draw adjusted at the end of the day. We talked about that level when it traded. It was 77s, rotated to new highs, came back 38 test Thursday. Again in the morning, right back to highs. And then here, we have defended that prior day low, which is, there's a couple things. We sweep the low here, we defend it here. The defense of the prior day low inside of this extension, which really looks like a wedge pattern to anybody who, doesn't see it the way we do, which is fine. You can even adjust this here to the new high. This upside target, which, why would it not complete next week? I mean, I don't think it's going to complete today, but crazier things have happened. 46.84 is the target, and we, defended that low. There was a beautiful traditional sequence on the 5-minute chart. If you didn't get in the low, which I didn't even get in the low, but I saw that reaction. We broke above this consolidation, inverse fair value gap, immediately into a halfway back long. That runs to target. Immediately into the next halfway back long, that is run to target. You're going to have a third here at some point. But my plan, I'm long from 45.98. I'm expecting this market to just today get above that overnight high. So my targets are up at 46.27 area. Anything past that, I just won't be here. I'm not going to take any new entries. I'm a couple things. It's OpX. I'm sick and I got things to do. So you can probably hear it sound a little nasally today. Nothing too bad, but under the weather to stare at the screen for 6 hours on OpX, and I don't see much setting up the indexes being at OpX. But copper here, copper a little weaker for the metals today, but still, this daily time frame. Let's not forget this thing continues to be higher. There's no reason for me to expect a higher time frame breakout at this point in time. There is this extension that exists from October 29th. We saw the 50% retracement trade last week, and we've come down this morning after breaking an uptrend line to a 38 retest. And also, on top of that 38 retest, we had downside completions of all shorts. So I would at least expect us to get up into basically the lower mid or full 50% retracement, which is roughly where I have my profit targets on this long. Could we get through that? Absolutely. Will there be a setup after we do? Of course. But right now, I'm long from the bottom of this range from 582 area, and then my stop is around 579. So if we can rotate up there, I'll be looking clean. Ideally, if these metals turn around on me, then so be it. I don't really have enough space to start going break even on my stop. I guess I could on my gold, but I'm just looking to ride these out here today up towards targets, which once again, targets in the gold are going to be through the overnight high, and it's just going to be that lower mid here for copper. So I'm going to set alerts after this trade plan's over. I'll leave the Zoom up, but I will not. Actually, I don't even know if I'm going to leave the Zoom up because I'm leaving my house and will not be back for some time. So I might not subject you can take a screenshot of my Zoom and you can see what I'm in if you're curious. I'm not going to be entering any new positions. Moving on to ES and NQ. So yesterday, this was the interesting setup. We had closed below the mid in the NQ, and this is something I look for. We traded this 50%. I could have definitely traded this a lot better, but we ran up to that negative 100 and the prior day high after closing below the mid. That's typically a fade, and a fade it was. It didn't happen until the afternoon session, but we were inside of that extension, which was a beautiful entry. And as soon as we broke it, we rotated all the way down to the midpoint of the day, which also, of course, was the full 50% retracement. That full 50% retracement is held. My expectation is probably we're going to continue up to that profit target, maybe get a breakout eventually, but offers below that mid at any point today is setting up for a bad week. And we'll continue to watch this next week, the 25,670. If we see offers and continuation below that, we're going to want to pay attention to that. But beautiful rotation down into the close. Buyers on that level going into the close 15 minutes before it. And we're rotating back up here. Upside target is going to be 26,077. Your best case scenario is if we get a halfway back long RTH. That right now is going to be the mid, and that's 25,760. You're really going to want to see that defended for longs here. Of course, that can change if we make new highs, but that's going to be the setup and watch in the NQ. And then for the S&P 500, did something very similar except more aggressive. The ES didn't get that full halfway back long. We got the next traditional. So Wednesday, traditional into the close, rotation higher. This was like a really crazy wick. I don't know where that came from or what news flashed, at that time, but it did look like it because it was just a big old 18-point straight down, straight up bar. And we just rotated down into that next traditional here, defended, and we're moving up. 70.33 is the target. Once again, offers below this level, you're going to want to start to get concerned. So I'm just going to move some of these alerts around, and that is what I'll be doing. But with that being said, that's going to wrap up my morning trade plan. What I got on is what I'm keeping on, and I'm not entering any new positions here, so hopefully they go my way. And I will see you guys Monday.